Howdy YouTube, I'm coming at you today with my first ever book review. And the book I've reviewed is an ebook called Vanabode by Jason Odom. And the title of the book is just taken from the word van put with the word abode, which means house. And it's about living in a van. Jason and his wife, they're minimalists, and they talk about how to live and travel on $20 a day forever. And it may sound crazy to some folks, but I've read the book, I can tell you it all makes sense. And I've been wondering about that myself, as you guys know, because I'm about to be retiring or semi-retiring or whatever you want to call it very soon here. And my passive income right now is $480 a month. And I've been wondering, would I be able to do that, just one person? And I think I could. And I think a lot of the stuff I've been thinking about is stuff that Jason writes about in this book. And he has even more techniques I hadn't thought of in there. And it's pretty cool. And he shows how he and his wife, they've been doing this 20 years. They start out in RVs and have since downsized to vans. And he shows how if you live in a van, you can basically get by for $20 a day. I say get by, but this is really a great lifestyle he talks about. For $20 a day per person, and be able to do it indefinitely. And he touches on some ways to build passive income. He doesn't go in much detail in the book about that, but he does have more resources on his website where he's even got gigs where he'll pay you to write stuff for a website or something like that, and links to other businesses like that that people can do remotely if they have an internet connection. And he really does include everything. I've heard some people say you can live for this or this or this a month, but they don't include things like titling a vehicle, insurance, and all that, but he's got all that built in there. I'd really recommend this book to anyone. The thing I really liked about it is it's written kind of from his perspective as being part of a couple. So this is part that I haven't really thought much about, because for a long time I've been thinking about retiring and was basically going to be doing it by myself, bicycle touring or living in a van or something like that. And I hadn't really thought about what it would be like for two people together. And I met someone recently, and I have a girlfriend now, and actually she and I are going to be doing this together. It's not going to be in a van, we're going to be in a travel trailer to start off with, and then there's going to be other kinds of adventures. So it was really cool to see the insights that Jason had about, being in a couple and in a situation like that. And that's what I really like to read about in this book. And it's really cool. The cool thing about it is you basically get to become a member of Jason's club, I guess, where you can join the forums on his website. He'll answer any questions you have via email for life. And also when he comes out with new books, he updated this. This is a third version of this book now. And he's working on a new update, which is going to include even more details about the construction of the bed in the van and things like that. And he'll email you when he comes out with a new update so you can download it for free once you've bought the initial book. So that's really cool. I'm excited to see the construction plans for the bed in more detail. It's a very simple approach. A lot of people talk about doing all these fancy things to their vans that really, some of it I've wondered if it's really necessary, because they're talking about putting in like crazy insulation in their van, and I'm thinking, well, the cool thing about having wheels is you can go wherever the weather is nice. Is it really necessary to do all that? Jason's answer is no. And the way he writes about it in this book is a very simple, straightforward approach. So I'm going to put a link down below to where you can learn more about Vanabode. I strongly recommend this to anyone who's interested in this kind of lifestyle. The book does cost $27 on his website, and if you have a Kindle or Nook or some other kind of device to read it on, you can find it on Amazon for less money, and then email Jason, and he says he'll get you all the extra links and stuff for free for it. I did go ahead and pay the $27 personally, just because I wanted to look at it on my computer, and I like what Jason is doing, and I want to help support him. I think we need more people like him spreading the word that wealth is not about how much money is in your bank, it's about how much time you have to do what you want, and how much passion is in your life. That's what it's really all about, folks. And I'll just close this video with a question that Jason poses very early on in the book. And the question is, can you go wherever you want, whenever you want, without having to ask permission first? And if you can't, are you truly free? Because women and men are supposed to be free. We're born that way, and we can be that way again. And this book offers some techniques. You'll also see a lot of the stuff on my channel, so if you don't have $27 or $9 or whatever to buy a book, just stay tuned. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm not affiliated in any way with Jason or anything. I'm just telling you about a cool book I read in case you want to read it too.